This is another question that has to do with parallel lines, but in order to answer this question, we're going to have to do some algebra. So this question says solve for x, and then it gives you some of the angles. It says that angle AHE is x degrees. All right, so if I trace that out, AHE, so this is the vertex of the angle, and this is the direction it wants me to go. All right, so this angle right here is x. And then it says angle DKF is 6x minus 290 degrees. So angle DKF, that's this angle down here, is 6x minus 290 degrees. All right. So we need to figure out how these two angles are related to each other. Well, if you're really, really good with your angles vocabulary, you might recognize that these are alternate exterior angles. One's on the left, one's on the right, and they're outside of the parallel lines. If you're not really good with the vocabulary, you probably looked at this angle and said, this is an obtuse angle, or this is a wide angle. All right, let me look at this angle. This is an obtuse angle, or a wide angle. So if they're both obtuse, they're both going to be equal to each other. So our equation should say that x is equal to 6x minus 290. And that's what we need to solve to get x. Now there's lots of different ways to go about solving this equation. I would normally start by moving my variable over. But if I do that, I'm going to have a side of this equation that has nothing on it. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to move this x over to the other side, just so that I've got a side with x's and a side with negative, or a side with a number. It doesn't really matter how you do it. With algebra, there's lots of different ways you can do it. All right, so if I subtract 6x from both sides, that goes away completely. X minus 6x is negative 5x. And I have a negative 290 here. So I've got negative 290. All right, and so then to finish this, we'll just divide by negative 5 on both sides. And when you type that into your calculator, negative 290 divided by negative 5, you get positive 58. So in this example, x is equal to 58. Now, does that solve the problem? Yes, the problem said solve for x. So here is x.